help of divine providence, and thanks to my present financial well-being, I have been able to rescue my beloved birthplace from the hands of creditors. And once again, I am here in my boyhood home. Being here brings back so many memories. I remember with fondness my mother and father and my 9 brothers and sisters who live with me and farm the land.
Samuel was born in Scotland on July 5th of 1731. Samuel lived when Connecticut was still a colony. Like many of the founders of the country, Samuel was a 5th-generation American. They were no longer Englishmen. Many people in Connecticut and the other colonies were really upset with England. These times were a turmoil for the colonists, or as they now call themselves, Americans, revolutionaries. Samuel moved down to Norwich, where there was fertile ground for a good attorney, which he was. He started his political career. He was appointed to the General Assembly, into the upper house. He had been appointed the King's Attorney, one of the King's Attorneys for Connecticut. But because of his leaning to help support his friends and family and the other colonies in the Revolution, he resigned this position, and he devoted himself to the American cause from there on. And the Declaration of Independence was coming. On May 10th, 1776, Samuel and the other members of the Second Continental Congress voted that the Declaration of Independence be signed and sent to King George III of England. As Samuel was president of the Second Continental Congress at this time, serving his 2nd term.
My sincere belief in the great author of nature rests on the foundation that was set for me in those early days. I think back on those youthful times with great blessings. I have spent my life in public service. I served in the Continental Congress, signed the Declaration of Independence, and am now Governor of Connecticut. I have the satisfaction of knowing that our glorious cause has been successful and that our new republic seems to finally be on a proper footing with our new Constitution. So it is with a mixture of humble pride and happiness that I sit in my birthplace, where my long journey began, and reflect back on this homestead, which I now, with great regard, refer to as Huntingdon.
He died in office, and when he died, he had already donated some of his backyard to Norwich Town as part of the old burying grounds, the cemetery where most of the founders of Norwich and their families were buried. Samuel was buried there with great fanfare. The entire state mourned him. Over the years, this mausoleum has been neglected and forgotten, basically the same way Samuel and his life and accomplishments were forgotten. With the help of many friends and groups, efforts were made, money was raised, expert people were hired to reconstruct the tomb. The tomb was completely rebuilt, and it's beautiful now. Most people think of help for an organization like ours, they think of money. The Samuel Huntington Trust has a mission to preserve Samuel's birthplace in Scotland, educate the public of Samuel's accomplishments and life, and to operate the Huntington Homestead Museum. The trust needs dedicated members, workers, who are willing to take office, to chair a committee, to supervise an event or a project that we have, become a docent at the museum, to do research on Samuel. When we have these kind of people to help us, the support we get, we can use.